chapter 1, verse 1 and 2. And last Sunday we have a view concerning the book of Colossians. We have started no kumain the battle war, the tatangan simple, but the drone. We came to see the field, the battlefield. We came to see the sino the leaders tayo. We stood up in the faith. Sino the kakarwa tayo, the church, and nakita tayo the scope na tinandaro ng itikubat na labanan tayo. So that is what we saw the last Sunday, a bird's eye view in the book of Colossians. And this Sunday morning, we are going to talk about the first Messiah, verse 1 and verse 2. And I would like to invite you to open the Bibles today, and we will read the verse 1 and the verse 2, and let's all rise up and respect each other. Good reading at the verse 1 and 2, ready go? Hold as also of Jesus Christ, by the will of God, and Timothy our brother, to the saints, faithful brothers in Christ, who are outside, grace to you and peace from God our Father. Let's commit everything. We thank Lord for today, itanap mo, right kay manipulating although reminding us of the gathering of your people, of your children, to worship you, and even for this time, the freedom that we have in the country, in the Morami. We thank you for the government, iti pamarubos na, dayaw na tayo, iti kasunin although freely. We thank you, Lord, iti the way to sustain your people throughout the week. Many of them ay ikakapsat na nagituloy because they are working. Adalang tidak umamanyada, they've been through the sickness and yet you strengthen them, you sustain them. And nagtinan umaw, may kaparagan mi ng madamang mapagpadas. You have entrusted them the ministry of taking care of the health of them. And we just continue to pray for them. My brother Dixon, the baby Ariel, the tikasat between Pico. Pray ako for some brethren, but if I recover ni Zach, and even my recovery, Lord, I am so thankful. We give you the honor, ako, and ulit kay man makita mi ni Manang Subina, the way you have strengthened her back. You have given her the health. Thank you so much, ako. And I just pray, Lord, dagiti sagsagubahan na ito nga kapsat. I entrust the doctors, the correct family, the finances. I pray, Lord, for the people who have shared and poured out their support kanya that no mabil na dagiti kasapulan da as they would strengthen the health. And I just pray ako that pinaksalang situation, iti panang test, the laboratory, the examinations, everything will be well according to the intention of the plan. Oh Lord, I am so thankful how you have sustained me there and the word there. Oh, Apo Diyos, nagiti pagtatrabahoan da, nagiti employees da, nagiti workmates da, and even for the students, kagyaman ko yan. Thank you for sustaining them, strengthening the students and the parents that they have in the public school. We thank you so much. Nagiti working brethren, ititid mo kanya ng business, itid mo kanya ng public service, pag-servisyo, iti kakaruba, iti syudad mi. We thank you also for, and even for some brethren who are desiring to have a work, desiring you would lead them in your perfect plan, perfect work, na may apply na, itiniskila na, and the burdens that will help also in their families and expenses. I entrust them to patience, iti love, iti preparation, iti heart na, as you would prepare them, iti talapong kanya na masuguro mo kanya. Oh Lord, nagiti kakapsat naman. For some, even my children, Brother Aris, I pray for them. Nagiti kakapsat, nagiti mothers, I entrust them to the imam. And we commit to you, Lord, we ask you to take about that they would face the responsibility of the translate. Lord, I pray, you got him back on anything. Lord, here is your word, and we have just read it, portion 18 Colossians. And we desire to understand and to see the blessing and the challenge written in this battle plan na naisulat dito in Colossians. O Lord, make us to be like the church, the Christians in Colossians, for your name's sake. Thanks. In a war that hang na pare-parehas keep natin yung strategy. Sa balik strategy, iti may isang lugar, hang mabalik ulit-ulit na or else nalakad ng maabak. Sa bayan lang, iti kalaban dan pasagutin kastagan ng atake, and very detectable iti kastagan na manglaban ng iti kalaban. Hindi ba na at-least, kanyari anak ko, masapong flexible tayo. Magaling na nag-training tayo, magaling nag-practice tayo, but the way nga, kasang-samo yung iti kalaban yung kasama iti approach, hanggang mabalingan, manyan yung kastam ng samo niya first, kasimot ng second, kasimot lang yung kastam ng magsamo iti third, sa bali. That is the key. That is the key to win war. Muray ako, in the area, iti panag-improve, iti materialis, iti tools as we conquer and as we try to defend ourselves. The more nga dumandanon tayo iti technology, katagbalbalin nga complicated iti armas, katagbalbalin nga napigsa, hindi madanon na lang 100 meters, tata, di madanon na over 500 meters. Sila doon mga baltog, it could reach even iti 1,500 meters. So could you just imagine the improvement? The reason is this. Everybody is trying to protect their country. So masako na rin nila a sort of protection, a sort of something that will defend them later on, hindi pa nang conquer iti may isang nation or probably iti may isang danger na situation. And that's how a war, that's how sport in the area of athletics. Unay pa yung kitaan tayo, iti gardening. Kung pwede hindi ko hanap na yung lapik sa pesticide, and it is already enough to kill the pesticide. Tata, lupit kitaan tayo, the more dumandaman tayo, iti pasto yung tsimpo, dahil pesticide hindi, na mabalik ang patay ni simple lang ang pesticide, haantay mapatay tatay, so doon po na tayo, pumipig sa iti pesticide. Just to protect the plant and just to protect the harvest na at maapit na tama dati malugi. That's how it is, iti war, iti garden. That's how it is. Uray tayo, iti taksi tata, you could see napitas mo ito, iti lugan tayo, iti bagyo, tututusan. Nung tata, makita yung makalugan tayo, makataksi ka rin kas na luxury ka na feeling na baknangot nga niya, kasi tinik na tayo lugan, tikas lugan. Nagtino ba ito kung Mahindra, and some luxury cars, mayat mo tinik na nagayan na gito yung ako, mayat mo tayo ito. Simple makita nga apparatus, but the complication and the strength of the car is enough na makita mo ma-surprise ka lang ang engine power as you ride it. And the luxury na magiging na kanya as you ride it. Itata, when it comes iti mission iti ako, the book iti Colossians, that it has been given kada tayo, tapno maaywanan kayo lang iti church. I am amazed iti Colossians. In all the churches iti Bible, that the church iti Colossians iti manisa nga inapresa kung binayo ng Apostol Pablo. I remember iti Corinth. The book of Corinth, the church in Corinth, that sinulatan ng Apostol Pablo because of the problem that they have in the church. The division that it has, the false teachers of Umay, and many of the members are already accepting these people. And mapangati Galatians, it is a book nga inuntan ng Apostol Pablo iti church in Galatians, yung brutal na panahungan na to the point ako na nakakay, sino tinangyari sa ipus-pus mo? Apay may pamabusin na nagpasit lang at simpo. Apay, sukat yun niya ako. Sukat yun hindi ko para kayo. Bulan lang pinapalabas. Grabe kayo natin. So it is a heartbreaking letter to these churches. Iti book iti panatay nga Corinthians and Galatians. When it comes to Philippians, may isang favorite na Apostol Pablo na binawon ng church. And when it comes to Colossians, hana na binawon na ito'y when he was there, he was in Ephesus, sunati pastor for 3.5 years. There, adamot ni may isang nagkatatindan whose name ni Papras, kagapatan ni Bible study na, agawin ni Anda, Bible study, ada ti Filimon, together di balay na, di papamilya na, hingga na nasusuruan ka ng unong di trabaho di. So, kapitan tayo dito na trabaho, it was pioneered by, ito na tayo na ipapras. Through the supporting backup ni Filimon and his family, kundi anak na nagbaling Pastor Garchibus. Itata, the book of Colossians is a very good book because it is a book of commendation. It is a book that will protect the church na sayang rin tangaligan. Sayang rin yung church nga napintas, nga nabangon, no matinag lang. So kita nyo rin itenses, yung verse, yung book nga na ito, there is no indication nga natinag na. But rather, adala iti community na kastoy iti takderda, and yet, kung na Apostol Pablo, they are standing firm on their ground. But, nakasabot na the first nga years dapat they are standing firm on their ground, katinggalan nila iti panagbiag ng church, kat they will remain faithful. Nadalagan Apostol Pablo, isang kunanagat, how I desire nga you will be preserved kung mahanap ng mga good starters kay the faith, but how I pray that later on you will end your faith well. Isa man kita yung book, iti Colossians, it is a book nga warning them, kitaan nyo, amumig na dating umay dito church, but you are not allowing them to entertain you. Amumig na kasi di ma-introduce para kayo, hindi papapanan nyo, but you are not allowing them. How I pray, na Apostol Pablo nga, ingana kung malas na abay ni Apo Diyos, ilas ni Aris yung kundi sumasaro ng my generation. It is my burden, although hanga siya tinangkay niya the work, it was that in may sang agad di Bible study with the Ephesus, nga ni Papras, ngay pagbaga na kanya, how I pray nga that work niya ako, it will be preserved for a long time. Kaya pa kita Colossians, napintas yung trabaho kita. So it is a book on how to guard the church and how are we to protect the word of God. Panatap tayo, we have talked about weapons, iti field, iti war, iti garden, iti tools, iti panaka-upgrade, iti gadgets to help us in our study. Hanay na uso ti library tata. Gana imay ni Mr. Google. Malaksi, to required school. Apan pa niya library, apan biyo-biyo ko ni Teresa, kasto yan, nadibuk nga niya Diyan natin mo sa library tata. Nagtata nga, the more nga imay ti panawan nga high-tech, manay ni Mr. Google. May ni manay niya Wi-Fi. Tata, when it comes to the work of the Lord, we are also talking about this matter. We will also talk today about a battle plan that is never and that was created by Christ, by God the Father, and by the Spirit. Inaramid ng a battle plan to protect the church, and this battle plan kathaan nga masukatan. Never in His time nga sinukatan na. As a matter of truth, it is shame kada tayo sukatan tayo ng battle plan na ito. In our protecting, in our protection, di ko natin panakaiwan tayo, iti trabaho na. And so this morning, iti ulo, iti sa tiyak para kayo this morning, iti minsay na kada tayo, ito, God's unchangeable battle plan. God's plan is unchangeable, and don't you dare to change it. Don't you dare change it. Ada ito ang mabanag na malap ito chapter 1, verse 1 and verse 2. I saw the first nga battle plan niya po dito chapter 1, verse 1. And this battle plan from eternity past, ulit panangaramit niya po yung ganat at makita tayo na it's always the same. Itatak at ano nagiging ko na tayo ng pragmatic procedures in building up a church. Nga to the point ka po nada, so katang tayo pulpit, ada daw tayo group time tayo, because ano nga uso tayo preaching. Kita tao kat ada yung communication na. So they try to change, isa tayo yung pulpit, ang berbalinan ng group o cell groups lang. Nung kita tayo trabaho niya ako Diyos from the Old Testament hinggang ng New Testament, He never changed His plan. No, Pastor, asap mo eh, handle mo effective na ito eh. Well, no, effective is not our fault. As long as we did God's battle plan, if it is not effective kada tayo, bakit kaya Diyos kada tayo? Well, we have remained to His unchangeable battle plan. First, dito yung batong plan na kung iya mabuo ka dito lulus ka tayo. Tapos nakawatan tayo. That it will also protect the church na. Maprotektaran iti trabaho niya po ito. It will guard it sa mga sarunong. Nagitanak tayo, nagitanin tayo. And we need to consider the wickedness strategy here. I see that you first. God's battle plan is this, that you first. God always prepared his man of war. It was a man. It is not a program. Programa kapsa. It is not an activity. The first battle plan, he looks for a man. He prepared his man. He guides and he makes sure that ito nga tao that ready, ijay time na. I am reminded iti time na pinatay ni Cain. The whole iti world kilubong iti kat nakalibintan tagay, kung nagiti kakatsat na. And ada pa iti first kinapasamak, that was the most painful thing that happened in the family. Because the expectaran na nga manong ti kakapsat na, nagay anak na, may suki mangitakdod ti pamilya, nga mabalik ay suki misaya, manikain, manana. Please go on, nagpatay. And in the midst, hindi ko natin kung brutal na panatay yung kain. Kuna ni Apo Diyos, ni Abel, kuna ni Apo Diyos kini kain, kahit ni pamilya, pang-quality of place. I hope the family could later. Yes, marunong mga kapsat whose name is Seth, rose up and stood up for the family. Do you remember also the Abraham? May isang pag-aaral na tao. Nakikitahan tayo by qualification, nagapoy ti pamilya na pag-aaral, and yet God chose a man of the hour. Now, by this man, adu nga nasyon, iti makakamukha ni Kristo. And by this man, iti agbalin nga ako na, bayanak iti Kristo. How about ni Isaac? The only hope, may salang anak. The only begotten and beloved son, Abraham. God said, you from my son, pagkalimaw mo raya. I-sacrifice mo sudah. And in the context of the sacrifice, partiyang sila. Pero tadi kong punay, Abraham man itibantay timuraya, and he is ready na partiyang niya. Thinking na I'm very sure, no man partiyang thinking na po, God will raise him up again. And I'm going to read it. With a broken heart, but more in love and obedience na kinahapo in faith na tinus. Yes, I'm going to kill my son, but I'm very sure God will raise up again my son, because he promised that through this boy, through my sin, pati sa mga tinawag-bati na ako, ito yung mayanak na tinisaya. But God provided. Iti may isang sacrifice. No, iti chimpo and grace na di kutsilyo, napartin na niya na, God stopped him. And God was honored in faith na, and God provided iti sacrifice. Kitaan yun ni Joseph. God understood and God prepared a family later on that will kill and that will attack and destroy the lumog, the chilbura, the era. God understood that it will cause the sacrifice, can read at it na tatao na, and it will kill a lot of people. Pati at iti pamilya na ito ay nakakapsat na, God preserved a young man named Joseph. He was being maltreated, falsely accused, many things happened to him, but God preserved and took care of Joseph to preserve daytoy tribuna. Parang matawag din ang palabas, it seems, siyempre, all ng tipuman ito. Sino nga ito? Sinubra ito sa kanya. Then there was a cry in Egypt. And when he was slain, there was a panic, may hinagat at ati plano na iti Pharaohs, kapatayin na kalibusan na iti tatao, na iti tribu, na iti Israelites. Niya, ano na tunod na kayo, kasuntungan sa kumpan na kayo, di ba natagyan, baliktad, natatag-baliktad tagabo. Ang mabalik ni Jai. So they tried to depopulate the Israelites, they tried to kill the little children. There was a mass murder. It will be. And yet God preserved and gave who became and who will later on become the leader that will protect and lead the people. And his name is Moses. May mga taon tinapalabas. At istorya tinapalabas, and dito gitsipo na tayo ni Moses. And through this man, sino nga kisumublat na magtulog yung lugar ni Moses? Sino ito? There was a deep hesitation in the community. Sino nga ito magsulat ka niya ka? Sino yung mga may kaparin na magsulat? And God took a man and preserved a man. Tinaga na Joshua. Ay nga nalimangan kini David. Here was the Israelites. There was the king na pinili ti tao whose the people hearts na nagustuhan natin, natipuan natin. Kapusta, wapo diya yung tao. Napayag isungan, so tinangaristo di puso. But later on, God's choice, nagbalingari. Dokitaan tayo, ang tibaltang liso, ligana chimpo, nabis, manismaya, intrip na niya, produce kiniso. But God preserved yan po. Pag-uwi bantay, nagpaspastog, karnero. There was a situation. There was Goliath, and God used that situation. We have a multi-community. Now here is my man. I'm going to use this man to preserve my people and to lead my people. Baby. No, I'm solo. Kinala ko na kita ng David. Kipila ang asawa na tinakaw na, tinagapuan na yan na. Nagpali ka sulat ka na na. Kita tayo, mas qualified mo, the first na puto na lalaki. Sa bali ito, tiplano niya ako. Tiplano niya ako, di sulat ka niya at baga po. Tinibat sa God raised up, not a warrior, but a warrior. The era changed. It was no more a time of war. And God is looking for a man suited to the generation who needs and kasapulan of wisdom in leading the people, because the land is already theirs. And he raised up and he gave Solomon. Imanong din yan. And ang hindi ko natin ang pag-ano na nasyon di Saudi Arabia, it was India. Gusto lang ko yung tao di pag-ano na nasyon. Here are the three friends. And they stood up. And here was the same thing that happened in Colossians. And then makita tayo. In every generation, in every church, we cannot deny the truth and the reality that we need a leader to lead the church. Not all of us can be a leader in the church. God gave a gift in the church and he called them the pastor, leader in the church. Tayo ba? Ang pastor ba? Parang kanya baka bilang hindi nagpasara, the Lord has blessed you with a gift. Not all churches will give them gifts. The Lord sometimes would not give them gifts because they don't know how to take care of their gifts. God understood that it's not yet their time. God wants to teach them, ikata na leader na because they don't like the gift. God understood these leaders, these pastors are the specific leaders. Kamagkita kanya na, but yet many of them don't like or they are not yet right. Mga iwan kanya, mga asikaso kanya. But for you, any kanya po yung iti regalo na, how blessed are you? It is because pastors are a sign that God cares. Here was Epaphras, and beside Epaphras, ni Pablo. The verse 1 ko na Paul. Di ba tinabi na di Katsul? Yes. Iti Jewish name ni Paul kat Saul. And when he got converted, sinukatan na tinagan na iti Paul. Implying iti conversion na, and implying iti mission na tatangko. Saul is a Jewish name. Paul is a Gentile name. Saul speaks of his Jewish custom and tradition. Paul speaks na and there is another stand, belief that is more better than what I stood for. Saul stands in the tribu na Hudyo, but Paul stands for a new mission that he was an apostle to the Gentiles. Comparing kini Simon, malagi is Matthew 16, ako na gusto nga Pablo, kuna ni Christ Jesus, kini Pedro, you Simon Peter, upon this one. It was Christ who gave Simon his name. Comparing ito in life na ito in Apostle Pablo, his name was changed. It is a radical statement. May pukpukaw na naging workmate na, religious na groupmate na. Dahil ikakalwa ng leaders ng Sanhedrin that he is turning away from those 10 and he is speaking that I am no more the same man na ambuyo o parang. God prepared his man of the hour. And how did he did that? God forged Paul to be a staunch converted man. Dedicated to Paul. He prepared and he forged a staunch converted man. And it is staunch. That the definition of this staunch, something who is strongly loyal to a man, to an organization, to a belief or opinion, staunch kuntuhan ng mayans. Uray kastamhan nga maikat, devoted talaga. Inseparable, haan mo maikat. When Paul gave this letter, the Spirit gave him more than just a name. That name speaks of a man being forged, na panday, ang palitapulpulo, na convert. Ay, manmanot yung kastoy. Manmanot yung kastoy, bisa na makita. Jehat na magpulo. Ang nagkikiflik, nagadok yung makita tayo magbisa, nung nalakan ng ayanis, hindi pa naman. Manmanot makita nga dati conviction. Makita, manmanot makita nga ada negative pisang nga uray no naganod against kanya na he's willing to stand for what is right and for what is true. Manmanot makita mo pisang nga even though that the majority is against and he will stand for what is right and for what he believes, stand in the Bible. And seldom can you see, and here was Paul when the name was spoken. It speaks of a stance of a man being forged. Pinanday niya ako Diyos. Nagpalibig na stance. It was God, it was Christ, it was the Spirit who prepared him to be the kind of leader. Verse 1 ko na. Makita tayo ni may kaluwang ang klase nga. Anyang kasla ni Apo ng isagana ni Pablo. Paul, an apostle of Jesus Christ. I see declare, God forged Paul to be a broken man. I see a man that was broken in the forging fire of the Apostles. Iya'y dalag ni Damascus. By that name, apostle, kahit na nasawan, somebody can I go. And nung bitaan tayo na pastor, pinagano'n na apostol talaga. And they claim apostle, and even some churches that they will still use the title of apostle na pastor. Apa existing na tatala ng apostle, pastor? Why do we not use the title na tayo in church tayo? Tiyawag tayo ang leader tayo, kaya bishop, Usually, kung tayo bisip mo sa na, tingnan mo siya diyan, napagpalit mo na na, patak mo rin, so may sa title ni pastor. Overseer. Elder, pag-ias mo lang yung pastor din, or pastor. Yung talong term, may isang tao dito. Usually, ito susunod nilang at pastor. Apay pastor na, in the Bible, in Timothy, there was no mention na may isang leader that apostle. It seems na po. Yes, kapitas na sa Rusiya. That the leadership, connect the office of the apostle, that haan na exist. It only exists the time of the apostles. Tikat na sa word, hindi ko na tayong apostle at apostolo. Tikat na sa word, which means one sent, or the sent one who is sent. And biblically, by the qualification, kung rin Apostle Pablo, that he was being questioned by the office maker. You know, the apostles, as you parang at that time, Apostle Pablo, and he used the title na kunana may sa apostol ni Cristo. And there are so many complaints na kunana, but habi magsiptan deta. Pinigil itang apostol, ususaran na itang matitulo ng kunana Apostle Pablo. Apay harap pa rin nakita ni Cristo Jesus. Ang apostle, di may isang requirement, di may isang apostol, kaya ako katito eh. Dapat nakita na ni Cristo Jesus, hindi si Biblia ni Yeso Cristo. Kaya nakita na, nagpungaris na. And in the time ni Cristo Jesus, ano ti mga ibaga, Paul, it is in the time ni Cristo Jesus, that he was 10 years ahead or 15 years ahead kini Yeso Cristo. And in the time in ministry ni Jesus Christ, that he is already there, knowing kung kakanwala na Nicodemus, and he saw that alam nila ni Christ Jesus di ministry. Hingga na nila di Damascus nga, pakita isuna ni, punak manulatay ni Cristo, nagpakita mo si Biblia isuna. The first qualification that he asked. The second qualification di ba isang apostol? Ito eh. Hana nga nakita natin resurrection, hana na nakita ni Kristo, kung nakita natin resurrection, pasapol mismo nga ni Kristo, kung imbaon na isuna, nga, agsabi. Di dalang ti Damascus, kinapan ni Ananias. Di ba? Ijay yung time, na nagyapan ni Apollos kini Kristo. Gao sa rin na, nag-istigo, witness, nga magdalang ti minsay, kadagiti Gentiles. And pass the second requirement. Hati nga mabating ako natin nga ada gusto tata, because that is the only and they are the only people fitted for the office. Even the right-hand disciples, the apostles, ano yung usap din na right. Bakit ang kaniti pangtalo nga qualification? The miracles. Would you see miracles tonight? Apostle Pablo, we're not negative miracles. The evidence of miracles. The evidence it gives signs and wonders, speaking in tongues to prove and to validate that they are really a sent one.